beloveds! Thanks for tuning into Beanie TV, where I offer you sprinkles of spiritual sassiness. Alright, so let's start with this episode's affirmation. Go ahead and close your eyes. Take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. Say to yourself, I am resilient. I am resilient. I am resilient. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Open your eyes. So today's episode, we're going to talk about the one, the two, the three different ways to let him or her go. And who am I talking about when I'm saying him or her? Am I talking about a lover? Am I talking about someone that like you sleep with? Who am I talking about? No, I'm not talking about your significant other. I'm not talking about your lover. I'm not talking about your partner. I am talking about you, boo. I'm talking about you. So the other day, I was crying, okay? Bawling my eyes out, crying, that deep gut cry where the tears and the snot is just flowing and you don't even care. And I was just saying to my, I think from 21 to maybe 26, I'm 28. So from like 21 to like, I'm going to say 21 to 24, 21 to 25, I was crying for her because as a 28-year-old, I can see myself still handling situations from that person. And I can't go on like that. From 21 to 24, I was uncomfortable in my body, insecure. I had terrible weaves. I was chasing these boys, a really low self-esteem, low self-worth, and I didn't know where I was going in my life, guys. I had my degree, I was doing internships, doing what society was telling me to do, and I was completely like unfulfilled, and I really didn't know what I wanted to do. I was scared to go out into the world and say, you know what, I'm done with fashion, I want to be an actor. Like, I was so scared to even call myself an actor. How crazy is that? Like, that's not me today. I would be like, yo, like, I'm an actor, I'm an entertainer. What do you need? I've got it. What do you want? So that's what this video is about. This video is about connecting with the person that is still coming up when you are triggered. So for me, and back when I was like 18, 19, when 19 is when I had a spiritual awakening. Like, from 19, I remember I would again just cry for my little girl self and tell her, like, look, you are not shy like people say you are. You are amazing. You are a unique little girl. And I used to do that. I used to tell my little girl self within me, you are not what people said you were. So now at 28, I'm doing that for my younger 20 self. And it is so, I don't know if I'm using the right word, cathartic. Like, the next day I felt like a weight had been lifted off my shoulders. But you know how it is when you have a good cry, you're just like like everything is so much better. So I felt lighter, and I am committing to myself to, when something arises, when a problem or a situation arises, when I am triggered, I'm going to go into who I am today. I'm going to go into my identity in God. I'm going to go into this amazing phoenix. I like to call myself a fiery phoenix lady. Like, when I'm feeling really good, like, I like to call myself a fiery phoenix woman. So when problems arise, when I'm triggered, I'm digging into who I am today. The confident in her body self, the comfortable with herself, the confident in various spaces self, the one that owns her personality and understands that, like, she's an individual, you know? And I'm digging from that part of myself. So the first part of letting him or her go is to identify who you are still connecting with. If you are 30 and when something happens, you're going back to your 15-year-old self, you need to let that part of you go. If you're 50 and you're still going back to your 32-year-old ways, you need to let that go. And definitely when I was 21, 24, I did not know how to communicate what I wanted or my feelings. I was, and I'm still kind of doing this. Like, I'm always cursing someone out in my head, which it's more like funny. It's not like, I don't know. Yeah. But something else, ooh, my eye is tearing. Something else I used to do, 21, 24, I would just let things fester within me, and I would not let people know how I felt. I wouldn't stick up for myself. I wouldn't stand up for myself when someone was saying something that I didn't like, or when someone did something I didn't like. But yeah, and I can't go on like that. I can't go on like that. So yeah, identify who is triggered. Is it the you are today, or is it a past you coming up? So identify who triggers you. Second thing that I do a lot is I write. I write a letter to the self that I want to let go of. I write down the things that I experienced. I write down the feelings that I had, or the feelings that come up when I think about my younger self. And this allows me to see visually and write and in my own words what my experience was. And being able to see it, I think, allows you to I guess I think it allows you to see, like, okay, this is a real thing, this is a real part of me. And I think it allows you to identify it better when you see it on page, rather than keeping it all up in here. So that's the second thing, is to write it out. I've written to my 16-year-old self, I've written to my 8-year-old self, and it works. It really does work, because it allows you to just see how, like, that person does not serve who you are today or where you are going. It doesn't serve you. You know, the past is the past. The past happened, and it did what it did. But today, you just gotta, like, let it go. Let go and let God, for real. And the only way you can let go and let God is by identifying what is the problem, or who is the issue, who is coming up. So the second thing is to write it down. The third thing is to pray and cry that person away. As I was crying and praying, I was just like, God, like, let me let her go. I'm letting you go. I am letting you go. 21 to 24, you do not serve me anymore. I am letting you go. Like, thank you for who you were, but I cannot identify with who you were. I cannot go forth and be that person. So I'm letting you go. And praying into that just allows a supernatural freedom. Okay? You are just free from that person, free from the way that person used to think, the way that person used to speak, the way that person used to act. You are free, and you get to be the amazing, whole, complete, awesome person that you are today, because that's what you are. You are whole, you are amazing, you are awesome, you are dope, you are glowed up, you are fire, like, you are authentic. This is what you are. You're not your past self. You are who you are right now. But if you want to really just be every single thing that God created and intended you to be, you have to let these versions of yourself go, because they do not serve you. So I just remember telling her, I let you go. 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 Like, that is what I kept just saying to myself, and I kept picturing myself. I was picturing myself from 20 to 24, and just seeing how different my life is. Like, I live such a simpler life now. I'm not drinking like crazy. I'm not going out like that. I'm not around people like that, and I am happier, like, so much happier. So I was looking at my younger self, and I'm just like, thank you for those experiences, but those experiences do not serve me today. And that's what it's about. It's about unleashing who God intended you to be, and for you to just be so good with who you are today. Be so good. because you are so good. Like, from the beginning, I think for me, I can identify it when I was maybe, I want to say 7 and 8, when I didn't feel confident in my personality and who I was. The adults always used to say that I was shy, or whenever another powerful personality would come around, I would shrink. And that started when I was 7 or 8. And I've been able to identify it as, I wasn't shy, I was just, I'm an empath, and I've been an empath. And when I look back at being a child, I see that I was just, it was a lot. It was a lot of energy. It was a lot going on. Like, we used to go to a lot of parties when I was younger. And entering into a party and all the chaos, it was too much. It was too much. Some children thrive off of that. For me, I was just like, okay, let me take my time and like figure out like what the fuck is going on. And that's how I was, but the adults identified it as shyness. And so I kind of let that be part of my adolescence and my adulthood. And now I see, no, I wasn't shy. I was figuring out what was going on and all these energies happening around me. And now I can say that I'm not shy. I'm not shy at all. It just takes it takes me just a little bit, like, I think that I like to say that I shine. So I think the adults forgot the rest of the word. They were using shy, but they really meant to say shine. She shines, okay? I can identify that. I can identify when I was 16 and I had my first boyfriend, and that was the confirmation that I literally had like no self-worth. I accepted whatever came my way, and that is still coming to me, and it's about identifying it and saying, okay, this happened, I let this happen, there are still remnants of this happening, but I'm letting it go. So for you guys who just feel like you are just not, like, you're like, what is going on in my life, what am I supposed to be doing with my life, I'm asking you to look back in your life and identify who is being triggered, who is coming forth. Because the person that you are today, the whole, complete, amazing, wonderful, beautiful, handsome person that you are today, is being overshadowed by a previous version of yourself. So identify who is being triggered. 2, write out your experience. Being able to visually see your experience allows you to understand that it's real, and it allows you to just get out of your head. And 3, pray and cry. Have yourself a good ass fucking cry. Just cry for yourself. And I know some people are not criers. I'm a crier. I am a crier. Any little thing makes me cry. And that's fine. That's completely fine. And I understand some people are just not criers. Some people have like emotional blockages. I get that. But what you can do is use affirmations, prayer, alone time, crying, really letting that person go, because that's what we got to do. Okay, this is 2017. We don't have time to be sitting in doubt and fear and worry. We don't have time. We're going in. This is 7 represents the year of 7 is the number of completion. 8 is the number of new beginnings. Completed, let it go. Let the doubt and the fear and the worry, whatever, let it all go this year, because 2018 is the new beginnings. We need to be able to come into 2018 fuller, ready, and we're always growing. Am I perfect today? No. Am I much happier, confident, feeling good about myself, feeling free? Yes, I am. Yes, 100%. Like, I am. And but I'm going to only just get better, and I'm going to, if I'm triggered, I know how to handle it from a new space. When problems arise, I know how to handle it from a new space. And it really, and I say pray because prayer allows you to identify who you are in the amazing, everywhere and in everything God. Like, when you think about the vastness of God, it takes it out of the Christian box and put it into, God is in the mountains, God is in the sky, God is in the sea, God. And if that God created valleys, if that God created all of the random fish in the sea, and that God created me, I'm understanding my identity, and I'm understanding how I'm just as important and just as beautiful as all of those species of fish in the sea, and I'm just as necessary as the moon. I'm just as necessary as the sky, and so are you. So that's why I say pray into it, because it'll allow prayer allows you to identify like who you actually are, not what the world says, not how society fucked you up. It allows you to understand who you actually are. And yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. Please share. I hope this resonates with you. All I'm trying to do is to be a teacher and be a healer, and use my gifts and talents in the way that I know how. So I thank you if this resonates with you. I thank you for supporting. Be sure to subscribe. And for all you guys that thought this was about a romantic, him or her, get your life, because no one is more important than you. You need to get yourself right, okay? And then maybe the right person will come along. But I thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you so much, and I'll see you guys next video.